Imagine two huge, stunning buildings on the exact same street, both sold to super rich buyers, both seen as absolute top-tier properties, but their stories completely different. Take 157. When it opened in 2014, it was the tallest residential building in Manhattan. The penthouse sold for a mind-blowing $100 million. Yet, just 6 years later, some of those apartments were selling for 25 to 50% less than what they originally cost. Now, look just one block away at 220 Central Park South. That building opened in 2019. Buyers who got in early off floor plans have watched their properties jump in value by over 30%. Ken Griffin's massive apartment there even set the record for the most expensive home ever sold in the United States. Same market, same time frame, same wealthy buyers, but totally different results. This wasn't just luck. It came down to 5 key things. 5 questions that, if you ask them before you buy, will tell you exactly whether you're heading for a 157 style disappointment or a 220 Central Park South level success. I'm Svetlana Gryazeva. I work directly with developers at Nest Seekers International. In this video, I'm breaking down the 5 crucial questions you need to ask to understand the hidden factors that make or break a new development. Let's get into it. Question number 1. Is this developer a proven winner, or are they taking a massive risk? You need to know how many buildings the developer has actually finished, specifically at this price point. Did they finish on time? And did they do it without running into major financial trouble? Think about 15 Central Park West. The Zeckendorf brothers and architect Robert A. Stern had completed big projects before. When that building opened in 2008, right in the middle of a global financial crisis, apartments were selling for over asking price before the lobby was even finished. They sold $2 billion worth of real estate in just a few months. That wasn't luck. That was a skilled developer who knew exactly what they were doing. Compare that to a less proven developer trying to build their biggest, most expensive project ever. The vision might be exciting, but that lack of experience is a huge risk. A quick search of their name alongside words like default or lawsuit will tell you a lot about their reliability and track record. Question number 2, and this one is huge. How is the building being paid for, and what does that tell us about the developer's risk of default? This is the hidden danger many buyers overlook. Building a luxury tower costs hundreds of millions of dollars. Developers rarely use all their own cash. They rely heavily on construction loans from bank lenders and mezzanine lenders. And those lenders expect to be paid fast from early apartment sales. But what happens if sales freeze? If the developer owes a massive amount of money to its construction lenders, the entire project can collapse. The construction lenders can foreclose. In an instant, the original developer gets completely wiped out, and the brand new party, often the lender or a rival developer, swoops in to take over. We saw this happen dramatically with HFZ Capital Group at a major luxury project in Chelsea called The 11. Sales stalled. The developer couldn't pay the $160 million owed to the mezzanine lender, and the lender foreclosed. The original developer was out, and the Witkoff Group had to step in to rescue and manage the project. If you buy into a building right before a foreclosure, you're stepping into chaos. Construction might stop. Promised luxury amenities might never get built in order to cut costs. The value of the apartment you just bought could plummet before you even move in. So how do you protect yourself? As part of their standard diligence, your lawyer must check the financials of the building. They need to verify that the developer has the financial solvency to actually finish what they started. Question number 3. What does the fine print actually mean for you? Every new building has an offering plan filed with the state. Many buyers treat this like a boring formality, but it is not. Your lawyer needs to read the plan carefully, looking for warning signs like hidden fees, underfunded repair budget, or clauses that let the developer off the hook for problems. Let's look at 432 Park Avenue. It's a 1,400-foot tower on Billionaire's Row. But in 2021, residents sued, claiming over 1,500 problems. Leaks, broken elevators, walls making strange noises. Experts estimated it could cost $160 million to fix. Internal emails from 2012 even show the lead architect warning that they were going down a dangerous and slippery path. You also need to check the expected move-in date. You can't move in until the city issues a temporary certificate of occupancy, or TCO. If there is a delay of, say, 12 or 18 months, your massive deposit is locked up. Have your lawyer find the absolute latest date where you can walk away and get your money back if the building isn't ready. Question number 4. How quickly are homes selling, and what is that telling us? Sales speed is public information, but many buyers don't look at it. 157 launched at the top of the market in 2014 and sold well at first. But as newer buildings opened, sales slowed to a crawl. The warning signs were there long before the headlines hit. Units sitting unsold, prices being quietly slashed. 220 Central Park South achieved the exact opposite. Apartments sold steadily and prices kept rising. The developer, Vornado, carefully managed pricing and the mix of buyers. In fact, Vornado's CEO, Steven Roth, reportedly took a hands-on approach and personally vetted the buyers. The result? A building that kept its value because owners wanted to live there, not just flip it for a quick profit. Check platforms like StreetEasy or MarketProof. If a building has been selling for 2 years and still has a ton of empty units, ask why. It usually means asking prices of sponsor units were aspirational and the price drop is coming. Also check and see if any resales have occurred and at what prices relative to the original purchase price. A building with unsold sponsor units may make resales challenging. And finally, question number 5. What stage of the sales process are you buying into? There is a common misconception that you should always buy early or always buy late. The truth is, it depends entirely on the momentum of the building. Think of getting in on a hot new development like catching a wave right as it forms. If the building has that wow factor and incredible momentum, getting in early is brilliant. You lock in your price, the building takes off, and by the time it's finished, your apartment is worth 20 or 30% more. But if you buy early into a building that is overpriced and fails to get momentum, you're taking a huge risk. If the building stalls, the developer will eventually drop prices to move units. And suddenly, your early investment is underwater. 111 West 57th Street is a perfect example of how the late stage can work in your favor. When sales launched in 2018, the developer held all the cards. Prices were firm, but sales slowed. 5 years later, more than half the units were still unsold, and the lender took an $82 million loss. Then, in March 2024, they slashed prices by 20 to 30%. A new sales team came in, and suddenly they sold 58 out of 59 apartments. The buyers who closed in 2024 and 2025 got the exact same views and architecture, but paid 10 to 20% less than the original buyers. They just knew when to buy. Let's look at the 3 stages. The launch phase gives you the best selection, and if the building is a hit, the biggest upside. But if it flops, you carry the risk. The mid phase might get you in some perks. But the late stage, if the building has stalled, that's when the lenders are pushing hard, the developer is desperate to finish, and you have all the power to get a massive deal. So ask yourself, how long has the building been selling? Are there signs of lender pressure? Spotting a building moving into that late stage is how you find the best deals in Manhattan. So there you have it, 5 crucial questions: the developer's track record, the financial solvency, the fine print, the sales speed, and the sales stage. Not every building is a risky bet. In fact, many are incredibly successful. But you have to ask all 5 questions before you sign anything. Buying a new development in Manhattan is one of the smartest investments you can make, if you do the research and choose the right building. If you want that strategic edge on your next purchase, let's connect. There is a link in the description to this video to reach out. Subscribe if this was helpful, and I'll see you in the next one.